In this lesson, we'll introduce you to another very important concept, slicing. In the future, when working in Python, you'll typically have to deal with data that is quite big. Many of the problems that must be solved will regard a tiny portion of the data, and in such cases, you can apply slicing. Imagine you want to use the participants list we saw earlier to obtain a second much smaller list that contains only two names, Leela and Maria. In Pythonic, that would mean to extract the elements from the first and second position. To access these elements, we will open square brackets, just as we did with indexing, and write 1:3. The first number corresponds precisely to the first position of interest, while the second number is one position above the last position we need. In our case, 2 plus 1 equals 3. Correct. We can say we just sliced our participants list to obtain a new one with the names Leela and Maria. I know this piece of syntax seems a bit strange, but it is not that illogical. Let's get the first two names from the list, John and Leela. In this case, you don't need a number at the beginning, and you can start by typing a colon. Okay, so by typing :2, we get exactly the first two elements. Very good. And how can I obtain the last two? One way would be to indicate the fourth position, corresponding to George, and leaving nothing after the colon. This would mean we will extract all the elements from the fourth position included to the end of our list. Another way to obtain the same result would be to put a minus sign in front of the number 2. Thus, Python will revert the direction of counting, starting from the end towards the beginning. How many elements are we asking for? 2. Let's execute. And here's the output. We've obtained George and Catherine in a new list. Perfect. Okay, let's check out some additional methods that can be applied to lists. Assume you know Maria is in your list, but you don't know her position. In other words, you'd like to obtain the index of the element Maria from the participants list. Just call the index method and indicate the string variable of interest in parentheses. The machine tells us Maria is in the second position. And it is. The next functionality is an interesting one. I will show you it is possible to create a list of lists. My goal will be to create a list called Bigger List, which contains the participants list and a new one I will call Newcomers. Let the latter enclose the names of Joshua and Brittany. Shift and Enter. Okay, we created Newcomers. All I need to do in the next cell is write the name of the variable Bigger List and cite within brackets the names of the lists I would like to include. Let's verify if this works. Yes, it does. The two lists are shown in the suggested order. Great! An important method that could order the names of your participants in alphabetical order is sort. As you can see, after applying it to our list, Catherine comes first and Peter is last. If within the brackets we say we would like the names to be sorted in a reversed order by stating reverse equals true, Peter would be first and Catherine last. Naturally, if our elements were sheer numbers instead of people's names, this method would function without any problems. Observe how, in this example, I sorted the numbers from 1 to 5 from the smallest to the largest. And here, from the largest to the smallest. Wonderful! This was a very important lecture. Stay tuned for the next one, where we will discover what is a tuple.